I'm Princess Serena, not Princess Serena, and today it is finally time for that yearly update of my whole entire collection. And oh boy, is it a big one. And I remember I completely rearranged my boards like a couple weeks after I did my update last year. So it is so different. And if you've seen my previous updates, you know my wall extends that way and a tiny bit that way as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, blast off. We are starting off with a bang with the Alien Remakes rocket ship. I love this collection. It is so cute. And then moving on to my main pin wall here, I have a Hanukkah pin representing each year they released a Hanukkah pin. The first few years I had some choices because there was a few different ones. And then the most recent years, they've only been doing one a year, but they better continue to the end of time. I will one day have to expand this board. I have all of the Rosh Hashanah and Passover pins Disney has ever made ever. I am crossing my fingers. They will make a new Passover one because this Rosh Hashanah one in the middle was actually made just last year, so fingers crossed there. And then we have my WALL-E board. It is my favorite Pixar movie by far, and that says a lot because I love Pixar, and these are some of my favorite. And I used to have so many more, but I downsized because I just appreciate this collection so much more because they're just all the ones I'm in love with. And now there is a space missing here, and that's because I have a few pins back at school in Windsor, so I will definitely insert videos and photos of the ones missing from my wall, as you're going to see my complete collection. Going up here, there are no missing pins on this board. My Tangle the Series collection, I'm obsessed. So the top is more like the lighter pins, and then it goes to like the reason I started collecting, all like the Moonstone casts and Dark Wraps and the Evolution ones you've seen 1,000 times on my channel, especially Cass, but like I am in love with that pin so much. I love a pin that tells a story and of course all the details, and I love a good dangle element here. I just think they really complete my board, and yeah, I'm so happy with this collection. And as you can see, I'm gonna have to get a bigger board soon, let's be real. So here's my High School Musical board, one of my favorites. I love all of the colors, so I organized it kind of like all like the films in general up here, and then it goes into like some specific characters like Chad here and all the Sharpays here and stuff like that. And these are all official except for the one in the middle here, my centerpiece. And I am single digits away from being a High School Musical completist, though I have not found one in over a year, except of course I added this one, the new one that Disney came out with. I hope they continue coming out with more new Disney Channel pins. So over here, I am missing the letters that spell out Windsor because I have a Windsor board, but when this board is all put together, it is so aesthetically pleasing. I'll insert a photo for sure. And then all my Pixar in general pins, all the Luxo balls and lamps, and this is still one of my favorite pins I own, and it was here like when I first started my channel like 3 years ago. And then moving down here is my newly organized Disney Channel board, which I showed a whole tour of a few months ago, but I already completely rearranged it. So here it is. I'll zoom in here. Perry. And yeah, I organized it kind of by show, of course, and I put the live action ones at the bottom because I know I have a few coming, so I just don't have to completely rearrange the whole thing. And then I also put the TV pins, even though they represent shows that are not in the middle, like Lizzie and Kim over here, but I just wanted to put them together because they look so good together. So I think I'm gonna always kind of rearrange it, putting the TV, more general Disney Channel ones in the middle and then branching off to shows. And I even have some of like, you know, there's only a few, like one of each like in existence of these shows, and a lot of these are fantasy here, but this one's official actually, surprisingly. Moving up here, yes, more Phineas and Ferb, because can't get enough of those. I mean, it's an endless summer, so might as well have endless amount of Phineas and Ferb pins. But up here, is my Emperor's New Groove, but I count it as Emperor's New School pins. And then some of my Proud Family pins, because of the reboot, it like tripled the amount of Proud Family pins that are in existence. And I'm not mad at that. I'm really happy. And we have my Lizzie McGuire pins. They are some of my favorite pins on this board. I just love the color scheme so much, especially the movie. I love that one. And there's PTDs. So there's Lizzie and there's some Phineas and Ferb ones as well. I am so surprised yet so impressed that Disney actually made so many Playhouse Disney and Disney Junior pins. I'm so happy these exist. Like, look, even Roly Poly Oly. You may or may not have noticed that my Hannah Montana pins were missing from my Disney Channel board, and that's because I think they deserve its own board, and I love the color scheme. I always wanted them to be all together here, separated. I don't have room on my wall right now. I have to do some serious reconstruction in the summer sometime when I have some time, when I come and visit again without any homework to do. Cries in school. But yeah, these are all my DSSH pins of Hannah Montana. There's actually quite a few of them. I am 2 away of being a completist, so I figure they'll still fit on this board. I just have to squeeze it a bit, and that's fine because they're pretty spread out for now. And then next up here, we have all my 3-inch circular pins. So I have the Tangled ones up here, and then some Disney Channel and an Eve one. The Once Upon a Time ones here. My artist actually designed these. I didn't make them, but I love them. This one fits all the criteria to be up here, but I don't have the heart to take it away from my High School Musical board just because it fits so perfectly as a centerpiece. One of my most precious boards to me, my theater board. I always get a pin whenever there is at a play because I love theater, and then whenever there isn't, I use this Etsy shop and I get the playbill pins, and I love them. And then my Once Upon a Time board, which has not changed since I showed you last month, but here's a quick overview of that. If you want to see it in detail, go check out that video. And there's my fantasy pins I've created last year, working on the 3rd one as we speak. And the new profile series. So all the ones at top are kind of series that have been done while the show is running. And then these ones are actually ones that came out in 2021 and continuing on into 2023. And a lot of them actually have quotes on the back. I'll link my first Once Upon a Time video to show you a lot of their quotes. Coming down here is all the full body ones because I couldn't put them at the top. Like, I feel like they'd be standing on other characters. They are all fantasy, except for a few official ones here that Disney has come out with. I seem to always downsize and like change up what pins are on this board, hence all the holes everywhere on this cork, but this is kind of just like a nostalgia, non-Disney for the most part board, except for the park pins I have in the middle. And then we got another Pixar board, which I'm sure I'm going to change up how it's displayed again soon because I always change it. But I really love the display currently as it stands. And I really hope they come out with another Pixar puzzle. I know there's an Up one, but Up is not my favorite. I know, controversial. I'm surprised they haven't done a Toy Story one because there's so many characters. And yeah, Luca, definitely my favorite of the newer Pixar films. So I had to get the marquee there a few years ago. And then the collection that started it all for me is my travel pin collection. So I have every continent I've been on, every country, and then it kind of works itself down. So here I have all the provinces I've been, and I kind of love that they're all shields. I hope I keep that going when I visit another province. We have kind of a Build-A-Bear passing the torch to America here because that's the Canadian and all the states I've been in for America, and then we got the American Build-A-Bear to match, and then this is kind of just representing the Caribbean. And then going down here is just like every province, all the cities and attractions I've been that are non-Disney. There are 4 Disney pins hiding in this board, but I always make sure they blend in. So like this Pop Century one absolutely blends into my non-Disney ones. They have to be on the smaller side. Going up here is one of my favorite pin boards I've ever painted. I'm no artist, but it's fun to be creative with pins. So it's all my pin meta pins, you know, like all about pins that are aware they're pins because it's about pin trading. I have one missing there, Pin Trading University, of course. I had to bring that with me. My Etch-a-Sketch board that I painted with my Toy Story poster pin set. I don't go after full sets very often, but when I do, I am so determined to collect them all. And this is my favorite board I've ever done and my favorite collection I've ever completed. Look at all the colors. Look how Remy just isn't the same. Like, I feel like they could have just made Remy like the same stock photo with all of them, but they didn't. And then it's so cute because all of the pins represent each ingredient to Ratatouille. And then we have Italy, which of course you may have noticed. There are Italy pins on my travel board, but these are Disney specific because of the pavilions. There's lots of Italia pins. And then going up here are my cruise pins, which I have to get creative with some because some cruise lines don't make pins. And then these are all the Disney trips I've ever done and just things representative of the park. So 2003, 5 were Disneyland specific. And then 2010, 20, and 2022, I went to Disney World. So I'm definitely overdue for a Disneyland trip. This is definitely my smallest board and it's all my Ariana Grande pins. Of course, I had to paint it pink. So these pins are pins I've been gifted. I have not been to any of these places. If one day, well, I've been to New York, but I haven't been at the Empire State Building because it's either under renovation or I'm with someone that's scared of heights. And one day I will make it there. And this is representative of like one of the live shows in New York I haven't been. But other than that, yeah, I haven't been to any of these places, but I was gifted them. There we go. I'm Princess Serena, not Princess Serena. Perfect. And then these are pins that I've been to the places, but they're kind of duplicates and they don't really have a home on my travel board anymore. I have to figure it out. But for now, they're kind of just being displayed here. This is my personal Disney collection, if you will, plus a couple non-Disney ones here with Grandma and Grandpa, but they don't fit my collections, but they're very representative of me. Like, for example, this Arizona one, I always spend Christmas season in Arizona. I do celebrate Hanukkah, as you saw at the beginning, but it's just like all the Christmas lights in Arizona are so beautiful, so I will say Christmas season. And then over here, I actually started teaching skating lessons to kids in the winter of 2017, so that's perfect. And I love ice skating and it's so cool. It's actually like a snow globe, so like if I press this hard enough, I'm sure it would break. I'm not going to test that theory, but it's cool. It like you shake it and it moves. And then I have a few pins here. There are no rhyme or reason why I have them, the ones on the right, but I just think they're so cute and clever. So I had to have them. I think the perfect closer to this video is kind of fun to do the impossible. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to have a pin collection of like almost 1,000 pins, I'm pretty sure. And a lot of these pins on the left are missing. They're at my Windsor place at school because they're very personal and representative of like schools I've been to and stuff like that. So that's it for my entire pin wall update for 2023. I hope you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more pin related content from me. And I am so proud of my collection and how far it's come. And I love these videos and watching them back. And I'm definitely, after editing this, I'm for sure gonna watch like all 3 of these because now I have a 2021, 2022, and 2023. I cannot believe I've been on YouTube that long, like, huh? But I would love to know your favorite board of mine. If I had to choose, oh, it's so hard. Like sentimental wise, it's like my travel board. But in terms of just like the aesthetic and the display and like the stunningness of the pins, maybe my Once Upon a Time pin board. I mean, maybe I'm biased because I made 2 of those pins, but I love all of my boards in like different ways. And my necklace here I got for my birthday. My friend Wrinkle got it. Shout out. She's been on the channel before. But it's my initial S with the Mickey head silhouette here. And I think I definitely earned the title of princess here. I have tons of magic mail to come. I'm sure I have tons on the way. And then I'm sure I'll just continuously have pin mail until the end of time. Like, I wonder when I'm gonna be like, I caught up on pin mail, because I haven't had that moment in at least a year, which is kind of impressive considering I'm not even home most of the time. I'm at school, but you know, we're keeping the hobby going. We're thriving because, you know, I'm going to school on the side clearly, and me being a pin collector and creator is clearly my main occupation. So as always, take care of yourselves and have a magical day. Bye.